Next, we would like to welcome our next speaker, Mr. Sandeep Paul. I would request Professor Dheeraj Singh to please felicitate Mr. Sandeep Paul. Sir has designed over 1,000 best-selling products for his clients worldwide. He is a 3 times TEDx speaker, winner of the prestigious R.I.D.E Design Award twice, recipient of the Designpreneur title from Shri Narendra Modi and 40 other design awards. Sir has won over 40 design awards, including the Light On Merit Award from the President of Taiwan, the Japanese Eyewear Design Opus Award in 2006 and 2009, the L. Decor 2011 Young Talent Award, and was a finalist at the 2009 Index Award, Denmark. Sir was also selected to represent industrial design at the India-Italy Tech Leadership Roundtable in the august presence of His Excellency Mr. Giuseppe Conte, the President of Italy, and Shri Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. I would request the technical team to please play a short video about Mr. Sandeep Paul.
Shri Paul Sandeep is an Indian industrial designer known for his unique ability, innovation by observation. Shri Paul Sandeep has designed over 1,000+ best-selling products for his clients worldwide. He is a 3 times TEDx speaker and also winner of the prestigious R.I.D.E Design Award twice. He is also the recipient of the Designpreneur title from Shri Narendra Modi and 40 other design awards. We warmly welcome Shri Paul Sandeep.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the dais Mr. Sandeep Paul. Please give him a loud round of applause.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, everybody here, for making time and inviting me to this great gathering. I'm really overwhelmed with the amount of enthusiasm which I've seen since morning. This is for the PPT, yes. Well, to begin with, congratulations to all of you who believe that incremental innovation can actually bring in change in our everyday life. And that's what I have believed in and have led to create more than 1,000 products over the past 2 decades. And fortunate enough to win more than 40 international and domestic design awards, designing for clients across 20 countries, some of the clients who love our work and have been greatly benefited by the design solutions which we've provided. Well, today I'm going to share some insights into everyday life and how do you actually not notice them, and which actually give us a lot of opportunity to innovate. So this, if you closely notice this image on the screen, you'll understand that this is a everyday life situation where you use cloth pegs actually to dry your clothes out in the sun. But we don't actually observe the problem here because there's a concept called habituation. Habituation is something which actually stops us from noticing a problem which is there. हमें लगता है ये तो ऐसे ही होता है, right? But I went beyond that and I observed one thing, was that when we are actually drying the clothes out in the sun using a cloth peg, there are 2 problems which I identified. One was that the metal spring in the clip would leave rust marks on the clothes. And the second was actually the clip would get brittle out in the sun. So what did I do? I tried to do away with the metal spring and created a monolithic design which has dual jaws. So enhancing the life of a product by 2 folds is also a way of sustainability, Because when we talk about sustainability, we also should understand the concept of longevity. So if in any of your work, if you can increase the longevity of that idea, that also can be considered as a sustainable way of approaching a situation. So that's the final product which was created and which won the Red Dot, which is one of the most premium design awards in the world. Seeing the invisible. Almost every time we can solve a problem which we can see. But how do you solve a problem which no one else is seeing? I'll give you another example. The multi-plug, I think this kind of a multi-plug has been there for ages, and also a 2-pin plug. And what happens here is that the 2-pin plug tends to fall off due to gravity. Again, a nagging problem. Can I solve it through design and observation? Yes. What I did was very, very simple. I added an angle of 40 degrees, a slant, which suddenly created a gravity lock by itself, and thus providing a stoppage, a natural stoppage for the 2-pin plug to fall off. So from idea to prototype to market, it was designed in 2004, and today, if you just look up in Amazon, it is one of the #1 bestsellers in the category. Solutions lie with the problem, and that is something which I call as contextual innovation. A very interesting brief was given to me by the marketing team of Whirlpool India. Design a refrigerator for us which looks taller than our competition. Now, how do you design a product in the same capacity, in the same freezing capacity, but it has to look taller? So again, I completely believe in understanding the context and understanding the usage scenario. So instead of starting off with designing the refrigerator, I started off with understanding the context of the usage, and I saw something very interesting, that people were using these kind of plastic stands, or rather also sometimes wooden chockies, to actually increase the height of the refrigerators. Another interesting observation which I made was that people were using these kind of plastic baskets to actually store onions and potatoes in their kitchen. So these two observations, when I combined, I came up with a very interesting idea. I came up with a utility drawer beneath the refrigerator to store onions and potatoes. That's me back in 2003 doing the first prototype with the engineers back in Ranjangaon factory, Whirlpool factory. We built the first prototype and we did the user testing, and the users really loved it. And it was launched by Whirlpool as a utility drawer. It's a very simple observation, created a very unique product suitable for the Indian market. So now you see the storage completely looks cohesive with its identity, and also has an interesting dry storage feed beneath. And most importantly, it did match the marketing brief, and it made the refrigerator look taller than the competition. And eventually, today, if you look back, it has become a norm in the trade, with almost every other brand having this as a USP in their product. Solutions are closer than you think, sometimes hidden in plain sight. And all we have to do is see with empathy. Another interesting brief from LG Electronics, Korea team, a designer India-specific LCD television. Now, how does one design a product for the Indian market, which is a global product? A television is a global product. How do you make it Indian? Do I add a vermilion color to it, or do I add some paisley patterns? I don't think so. That's not how I design. So upon observation again here, what you see is that the gentleman there is clearly not interested in the televisions which are placed on the furniture piece, but is looking at the ones displayed on the wall. Back in 2013, to have a television up on the wall was something very unique and very aspiring for people. So I started observing, visiting homes. Probably I would have visited more than 200 homes across the country, trying to observe how people are actually perceiving this product. And interestingly, what I realized was that now that you have a television which goes up on the wall, where do you keep your DTH box? Because you don't have the furniture piece beneath it anymore. So people are actually doing these kind of jugaads of having a glass shelf or sometimes keeping it on top. So all this is jugaad. And another interesting aspect was that the company was investing in the stand of the television, which was absolutely of no use. So it was a wasteful scenario. I came up with a very, very simple idea, or rather wish at that point in time. Can I convert the stand into a tray? And it took me nearly 6 months to figure out the locking mechanism of how do I convert the stand into a tray. And believe me, without a single penny increase in the price, I created this solution of having a shelf for your DTH boxes. That's me with the Korean design team in Seoul with the first prototypes of the television. And it was proudly launched in India and was called Designed for India, and was called the Transform LED TV. So this is how it is actually in use. So when you buy the product, you can place it on the furniture piece if you wish to, or if you want it, you can go up on the wall. And that's how you have this utility without an extra penny, and a win-win situation for both the customers and the brand. And it really got very good reviews all over the media. Genuine needs are often felt, but seldom spelt. We all have traveled by the Indian Railways, and we have always used the Indian Railway toilet. And one thing I must say, that while I was a student, I was a frequent traveler, and mostly standing near the toilet because probably I wouldn't have a ticket or a reserved ticket to myself. So one of the observations here was that the toilets had water, but they did not have a container to hold the water. So when you use the toilet to wash after defecation, we used to carry those plastic bottles, cut them into half to make it like a cup, or use paper cups to wash after defecation. And that created a lot of clutter in and around the railway tracks. So you see the rag pickers who are actually involved in clearing off all that kachra, I would say, along the track, which we were unintentionally, but without choice, spreading across, because that's the huge problem where you have to use something to hold the water. So I came up with a very, very interesting solution here, was that can I have a folding paper toilet mug, which I can take to myself when I go to the washroom, and then use it and throw it down the drain, and it will disintegrate after around 15 minutes. And it could be folded, and it was priced at ₹5 for a pack of 3. This won the most prestigious design award in Copenhagen, and is a part of the design museum in Copenhagen. And I was also awarded by Sri Narendra Modi for this idea. And it was, we did a test trial from Ahmedabad to Delhi tracks, and you will be happy to know that the rag pickers were trained to actually fold a piece of square paper into a mug to create this disposable mug. So how do you actually come up with small ideas from observation? This is what my life journey has been. I always believe that you should not look at the symptoms, but actually try to look at the root cause. A situation we all have faced on our everyday life. We always have to struggle with the eyes tray to twist and turn. And do you really know why? So the client had approached to design an ice tray, but we took a step back and we tried to understand, why do we have to struggle to pull out the eyes? It's simple physics. It's a cuboid, and when water freezes into ice, it expands and it exerts force on all the sides, and that's why it gets stuck. And that is why all the struggle is required to twist and turn it to get it out of the tray. And believe me, companies have gone to greater lengths to overcomplicate the process of taking out ice from an ice tray. But I believe in voluntary simplicity. I always have believed in a solution which is the most simple, is the most accessible, and the most economical, and the most efficient. So I designed the ice itself. I created a hemispherical drop-shaped ice, and again, simple physics. Once the ice is frozen, it really pops up by itself, and it becomes loose, so you don't have to twist and turn it, and you can just scoop it out with a spoon. So at the end of the day, you not only have a beautiful looking ice tray, but you also have a very unique looking ice as well. So this is the power of observation and innovative thinking. I've always believed that none of us can be geniuses, but all of us can really participate. And I truly believe that observation is a superpower. We could be in any stream. We could be an engineer, we could be an HR personnel, we could be a lawyer, but everyone, if we master the art of observation, this will become your superpower. And this is how I capture my observations. I illustrate them, I draw them. A very everyday observation is that, when men go shopping with their wife or girlfriend, they have to, stand and struggle to find a spot in the shopping area to sit while waiting. So why can't they have a sitting area? So it could be a very interesting observation, but if you look at it from an innovator's point of view, it actually gives you an insight into retail design, into space design, and how you can add empathy and create solutions around them. Another observation, जब भी हमारे घर पे पोछा लगता है, हमारी मम्मी हमेशा बोलती है कि बेटा पैर मत लगाना उस पे, because you will leave footprints on it, and we dread over that space. Now this is again an observation from everyday life, and what triggers as an innovator I can see in these observations are, can we design a floor which does not leave footprints after mopping? Well, idea is, let's create an anti-impression tiles. Another way of looking at it could be, since there's an AC on the picture, you can also think that can we design an air conditioner with a quick dry feature? Or you could also think that can we design a flow clearing solution that doesn't allow impressions? The queries, the questions can be never ending. But what I've tried to do is I've tried to create a compilation of these observations and create them into a book. I've compiled a 150-page book of observations which actually acts like a trigger. So each page you turn, it will trigger your imagination and will compel you to think of a solution which doesn't exist now, but definitely it can in the future. And you could be the innovator. I'm happy to say that this book was published a couple of months back in April, and we've already shipped to 200 plus unique destinations across India. And is also part of the permanent collection of the prestigious Knowledge Management Center, or the Library of National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, and Bangalore. And I'm happy to share that a lot of institutes are actually queuing up to have this book as a treasure in their libraries for their students. This is also getting a lot of attraction and good reviews on Amazon. There's a direct link. You can scan the link and it'll take you to the Amazon link to have the book. And well, I wanted to give out a few signed copies of the book. I'm carrying the book along with me. So anyone interested, I'm happy to sign a book for you. You could contact the organizers. I'm here a little while, and thereafter I'll push off to my work because it was a very short notice on which I had come. So anyone interested to have the copy, you're most welcome. Please contact the organizers. I'll be happy to sign a book for you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for those words of wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank all of our three speakers for today, Mr. Maurya Hanspal, Mr. Sandeep Paul, and Mr. Ramanuj Singh, for sharing their words of wisdom with us and igniting the flame of entrepreneurship and design in our students. Dignitaries and esteemed guests, I would like to request you all to please come forward for a group photograph. Can we once again please put our hands together for all of our three speakers for today? They have truly inspired us all with their knowledge about design, innovation, research, and entrepreneurship. I'm sure after moving out of this pandal, the words that they have blessed us with will inspire all of us for the years to come. Thank you very much, dignitaries. I would request you all to please proceed downstairs for the further proceedings.